how does gender and tech relate? Well, it turns out that most tech has gender bias bugs in it. And so here's a worried software developer thinking about their incredibly full workload, and they're saying, you're kidding. Do I have something else I have to start worrying about? You know, where are these bugs? And the answer is in the tech that you are creating. By you, I mean this person. And not only that, but in the tools that this person, are using to do the creating. So this person is still very worried about their workload, and they're saying, well, like, do I really have to worry about this? Can I just like get out of this? And the answer is no, you can't get out of it, because this matters a lot. Every time somebody stumbles into one of these bugs, they pay a cognitive tax every single time. So the software, the technology is just sapping their strength, okay, all the way along. But even if you don't care about that, there's another reason why you would care about this. And that is, if you take down those inclusivity bugs, what you end up with is better technology, just flat out better. And so the design community is already familiar with this principle, but it turns out that when you address an underserved population segment in any product you're building, you tend to make things better for everyone. So the classic example is curb cuts. You know, those cutout places in the sidewalk? So way back in the old days, there were no curb cuts. And somebody noticed somebody in a wheelchair having to deal with situations like this, and they said, you know what, this is terrible. And curb cuts were born. Actually, it wasn't seamless. It involves Portland and a stick of dynamite and stuff. I'll tell you about that sometime if you want to know. Anyway, curb cuts were born, and they did help people in wheelchairs. Yay. And they helped people with those wheeled walkers too. And they helped parents pushing their babies in strollers. And they helped people on bicycles. And they helped people pushing heavy bales of hay on their wheeled dollies. So what we ended up with was we did not understand there was anything wrong with sidewalks until we looked at it through the eyes of this person. And then we ended up with something that was better in the eyes of everyone. Okay, so hopefully for one or another of these reasons, you're excited. But before I tell you what to do, I'm going to have to tell you what not to do. Shrink it and pink it. Do not be doing this. This is a real thing. If you get on Google, you will find this all over the place. So at some point, here's one from back in the day, Dell's pink laptops. So some brainy person at Dell decided, you know, oh, cool, we need more money for women. Let's take our laptops and paint them pink. And not only that, we're going to come up with this cool website to go with, and it's going to have recipes. You know, it's going to be great. Okay, 2009, that's before the days of Twitter. Guess how long it took Dell to take down that embarrassing website after it went up? Remember, before the age of Twitter. Go ahead and guess. How long before they took it down in embarrassment? 20 minutes. 20 minutes before the outcry was so great and they were so embarrassed, they took it down. So we may say, okay, well, hopefully the industry has learned its lesson by now. Well, let's talk about Bic for her. This too is from back in the day, but this one is still on the market. So some brainy person at Bic said, we should sell more pens to women. So we have this awesome idea. We'll come up with some pens that are pink and purple and sparkly. We'll add a label for her and we'll raise the price. Okay, so y'all know Ellen, the talk show host. Here's how she responded to that. Oh, my feeble hand. I used to have my husband fill out all my recipe cards for me, but now, thanks to Bic for her. Okay, so obviously, this is such a bad idea, so disrespectful, so bad on so many levels. But on top of everything else, it doesn't even work, okay? Because Nobody's typical. The world does not divide into typical women and men and any other gender, because being a member of some gender is a very complicated proposition. It's got a lot of variables. And so you just can't divide the world up into bins. And I showed you that on the graphic on the first slides as well. So what that tells us is we're never going to succeed at solving problems like this, at making technology that works for everyone, by trying to divide the world up, because the world doesn't divide up. Even if we could afford to make 50,000 different versions, it still wouldn't be enough buckets. So what we have to understand is that dividing is not going to be the answer here. What we have to do is treat this as a debugging problem, same as you would any other bug. You fix the bug to make the software better. So that's what we want to do here. Fix the bug that is preventing certain problem-solving styles from succeeding. Make it so all problem-solving styles succeed at some feature. That's the key. It's all about debugging. Okay, so where do bugs like this lurk? Well, everywhere. There's a paper, at least, about all of these. Open source project sites, yep, there are these gender inclusivity bugs in the site, okay? Programming environments, yes, in the environment itself, in the toolware. Spreadsheets, oh, you bet. Mobile apps, all over the place. Even help systems, okay? Because think information processing style, right? These things are ripe for gender bias bugs if you do them wrong. E-learningware. This is Canvas, which we use at OSU. I'll be using this one as an example. In fact, you're going to be getting to know a lot about the problems with Canvas very shortly. Websites, yes, it works for any technology, not just apps, okay? Even plain old websites have lots and lots of these inclusivity bugs. Digital libraries, oh yes, okay? In other words, they're everywhere, and as I said, there are papers about all of these and more.